On today, guys? Welcome back to another ATS review, and today we are in a Mercedes Actros. It's a 2009 with the Eurotech V6. I believe that's a Eurotech is the name of the engine. But the interesting thing about this truck is what it runs on. Like I said, it's a V6, but it's 320 horsepower with a automatic transmission. Usually, what I mean by that is it's not a six-speed. If it's not a six-speed, I usually run it with automatic transmissions. But today we'll be driving this thing around the town in Atlanta and get a little bit run on the highway and stuff. So first thing you can definitely tell about the 2009 Actros is it's definitely aged a little bit. This is a cab over style truck that was typically only used in Europe, but right now I'm driving this one in the United States, which is pretty exciting. I'm here in what's practically my backyard, Atlanta. Blinker. There we go. Now it's staying on. So the thing is, I don't like automatic transmissions in this game. I really don't. And I drive an automatic in real life in my Ford Explorer. But this is just like, the transmission in this game with autos, it's ridiculous. It's not variable enough at all. When I say that, I mean you can't floor it and redline it like you would in a true automatic. It still will shift as if you were driving it sensibly with the manual transmission. This, I believe, is a 12-speed transmission, actually, not a 10-speed auto. And I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. And while I wish there was a 6-speed option, I believe in ETS2, where this truck came from, there was no manual option, or no 6-speed option, at least. There was for sure manual options. I mean, you could switch the game to manual if I wanted to. If I really wanted to, I could drive this in a manual, but I choose not to for the fact that I don't have a 12-speed shifter, and all my buttons on my wheel are cluttered. I can't use it to change range or anything right now. So as you can see, I'm in 10th gear, and I'm barely going 45. So there's the first problem right there with this truck. It just isn't powerful enough. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright. That wasn't even going the speed limit yet, and he just... Oh, man. Can't get around these guys. Alright, so we'll try to get a nice highway pull to get onto the I-20 here. Put to the floor. Let's see what we can do. There's no trailer on this truck, keep that in mind. This truck is a base model. There is nothing really that important about this truck. It's a standard engine, 320 horsepower V6. It's my first V6 truck I've driven in this game. I've driven this truck in ETS2. It was actually my first truck in ETS2 because I wanted the Mercedes truck. And quite frankly, with the auto, it feels very sluggish, and with the 320 horsepower, I believe I did upgrade mine a little bit, but it's literally miserable driving the auto with the 12-speed. As you can see, it tops at around 75, so it's a pretty easy truck to drive. The truck is completely base, though. Base interior, base engine, base transmission, everything. There is no modifications in this truck at all. It runs on Dynamics tires, to the same tires from the Volvo VNL 670 I reviewed recently. But like I said, it's a good starter truck for sure. It's a good place to start. Mercedes really did a good job designing this truck, and in ETS2, it was an absolute fun truck to drive. Definitely was easy to get outran by everybody. Michael, especially my friend that I played with on ETS2 and ATS for that matter. When we played ETS2, I had one of these as my main truck. I believe I still have it actually as well in ETS2. It literally is just, it was a good truck, especially the sequential box that I ran on my Driving Force GT, which I can't exactly do because my shifter is not a sequential shifter, and my paddle shifters I use my blinkers. So I just realized we crossed in Alabama now. But like I said, the new Actros is what this is called, or just the standard Actros is what it's called, is definitely a good starter truck. If you want to drive a truck that is relatively cheap, this is probably the cheapest truck you can get in ETS2. It's a $98,000 truck base. Mine in ETS2 had a couple of little options here and there, such as interior appointments and stuff like that, custom front license plates, stuff like that. This, however, like I said, is a full-on just base truck, like something you would see in a work fleet, and it's definitely not the fastest thing on earth. So I'm going to pull off here, and we're going to check out the interior. I'm going to drop it in neutral, turn the truck off. So in the interior, you get a lot of nice appointments. You've got your parking brake over on the right here next to the hazard lights. You've got your steering wheel in a pretty good spot. You've got your blinker. Your light switch is right behind that. You got a couple of nice, really good speakers, or vents, those look like actually. Really nice appointment, really high seats. Looks like a tiny sunroof, and you get like maybe like a mini sleeper because this truck is, like I said, a base. On the exterior, like I said, I'll give you guys a quick look around that. 4x2 chassis, dynamics tires, standard wheels. It's got Georgia plates. But yeah, there's really nothing special about this truck. Thank you guys again for tuning in to this ATS review. I hope you guys.